It's day 13 of the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge, and today we're going to fly slow. Car beat, power back, 10 degrees and flats, perfect. Landing still starts the perfect pattern. What is happening at M0A Online Ground School? Jason Shepard here. Check in down below in the comments who is 13 for 13 of the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. Who could use to get better at slow flight? Well, let's talk about this. Why do we practice slow flight? Well, I used to think we just practice slow flight to get as slow as possible, made me super nervous. I hated stalls, I hated all that, so I thought, like, why would on earth would I want to do slow flight? Well, then a wise instructor said to me, Jason, we do slow flight to get better at our landings. In fact, right before you land, you're basically in a phase of slow flight as you enter into that transitionary stage. So let's talk through slow flight here quickly, and you'll see, and again, there's different ACS guidelines, whether you're doing this for private pilot or for commercial pilot. So you need to know that as well and be able to delineate between the two. But if the goal is to improve my landings, well, let's simulate that. Let's do slow flight in what's called the dirty or landing configuration. And here's how I like to do it. I start from a nice level trimmed up airplane. This is not a trimmed up airplane. Let me trim it up just a bit better here. What do I mean when I say trimmed up airplane? Can I do this? Right? That's a trimmed up airplane. All right. Now, let's start from this attitude and begin to slow the airplane down. I'm going to apply my car beat, and I want you to watch my hand. I'm going to fly this thing with just about 2 fingers, okay? Actually, I'm going to do that on purpose. I'm going to fly with just 2 fingers, thumb and pointer finger, the whole time. Car beat's coming on. I'm going to smoothly bring a little bit of power back. Smoothly bring a little power back. You don't just want to rip up on the yoke now because you'll end up climbing. I'm trying to maintain this 3,500 feet here, as you can see. Tough on a digital display like this, but just something to watch. Now, as this yoke gets heavier, I'm going to give it a little bit of trim. Now, I'm within my flap range. I'm going to dump in my flaps. Now, you could baby in your flaps a little bit, a few degrees at a time, or you could just work them all the way in. It's totally up to you. Remember that added in flaps, look at my tendency, right? Has a tendency to what? Cause the nose to come up. So just keep that in mind. That's not a big deal. We can adjust for that. Now, you ready? I want you to really understand something important here. Let me break that little altitude climb. It's important that you call it out, by the way. If you see yourself climbing, just say, oh, I'm climbing, but I'm fixing it. I need you to understand this phrase here. I pitch for airspeed, I power for altitude. How do I break this descent? Using that phrase, I pitch for airspeed, I power for altitude. How do I break the descent? Give it a little bit of power. Watch, just stare at the vertical speed for a second. Giving it power. There's 1900 RPMs. I'm literally hands-free. I need a little bit more power. Do you see that? Not much, not much. Just break that descent. A little bit more power. You're gonna need a little bit of right rudder in there too. Break that descent. Okay, watch it. Can you do hands-free slow flight? Forget 2 fingers, right? You've got to get to a point where you can put the airplane in a configuration. We're locked in here at 64, 63 knots. I'm level. I could use to be just a hair higher, just to be more within my tolerances. I've been holding this head in south, if you've noticed. I just gave it a millimeter more power. I realize that's not a POH term, but you know what I mean. Just to break that a little bit. Hands-free slow flight. Okay? Next. Why do we practice this? Because this is the phase you're in right before you land. What do I want you to get from this lesson here? Can I show you something? Watch my ailerons real quick. Watch what I'm going to do. If I was at full power right now, what would be happening, right? We'd be rocking all over the place. That wasn't that extreme, was it? For as much as I was moving the yoke. Our ailerons are not that effective. What is effective? I'm going to lose my head and apply my altitude on purpose now. Watch my rudders. Look how effective my rudders are. And that's what you need to realize when you're coming into land. In fact, they're going to give you on your check ride turns in slow flight. Give me a left turn heading 150. I look left, I'm clear left. It's called slow flight for a reason. Baby your way over there. A little bit of rudder, a little bit of aileron. It should be just as hands-free as well. Slow flight can be a nice slow turn. Take your time getting over there. All right? Here comes my 150. Anticipate it. Really, I'm stepping more than anything with my right foot to stop that. I stayed coordinated the whole time, though. And just like that. Now, It's great, we've been holding 3,500, but can you hold that through the recovery? Just because the examiner, the evaluator, I'm sorry, says, okay, Jason, good job, on to the next thing, it does not mean you're done. You're still being graded on the recovery. So recover, when they tell you, you're going to go carb heat. Now, when you go full power, where's that nose going to want to go? It's going to want to go up. So stop doing 2 fingers on the yoke, grab that yoke, full power, push forward. You're going to have to push forward. Get your full power in there. Now, baby your flaps out. Don't dump them out, okay? 10 degrees at a time. Or whatever your POH recommends for your aircraft. But look at the little climb I've got going on now. I've got to really push it forward and get those flaps out. That's going to help because you're still being graded on the recovery. Now you've got all that power. Don't let that turn into a climb here. Once you get all those flaps out, a good positive airspeed, you baby that back to a cruise, and you should be trimmed up right where you left off. Slow flight. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be challenging, right? You should be able to do this hands-free. Trim is a poor man's autopilot. Use it to your advantage. I hope you're loving the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. I hope you're loving all of these videos. Check it down below that you are 13 for 13. Share this video with someone that needs to see it. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see ya.